Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's Jack. I'm Conrad. This is the 45, the only show that's had more sets than shows. We're here to talk about the group stage of what happened in the World Cup and how we did in our predictions. Some better than others. There was a couple shockers, obviously. But let's go ahead with Group A.
I mean, I feel like we got that mostly right. Uruguay was the sure team in everybody's eyes. And then we had a toss-up between Egypt and Russia, and I think our likeness towards Mo Salah
It was such a good
Egypt.
story. Such a good story. You just wanted to... It was more emotion over it. But I don't think anybody saw what Russia did coming. Granted, they played nobody to get their six... Not nobody.
That's true.
Egypt did not play well. Saudi Arabia... not the same level. Russia just played great, and I seriously underestimated the value of playing in front of a home crowd.
Exactly. The home field made a huge difference for Russia, and it's why they were able to get off to a great start against Saudi Arabia, and that's why they...
Quick goal, like in the very early going, and just did not look back.
And Uruguay, however, they have not conceded a goal yet. They are
defensively.
They are quietly one of the favorites of the tournament now.
They look really good.
Group stage.
Yeah, and because they can score, they play well together, they look like they're enjoying one another, unlike another South American team, which we'll talk about later, horribly coached, but the other team, not Uruguay. Uruguay is doing a very good job.
Definitely.
But I will talk about the kind of the round of 16 matchup here in a little bit. But so Group A, not bad. Group B, we got right. Portugal, Spain, not a surprise to anybody.
I think the one surprise would be the fact that there were only one win between the two teams.
That's true. Yeah.
Because there were
Iran played well.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, Morocco, I think Iran had a better showing than Morocco did.
Iran were a last chance goal away from advancing past Portugal, which would have shocked everybody for how well they played.
Almost as big as the Germany going out if they had won that one.
Exactly, especially with Ronaldo, one of the biggest players in the world, if not the biggest player in this tournament. I mean, he's one of the best scorers so far, and he's shown as much. But we did get that prediction correct.
Yeah, so Group B, not bad. Group C, again, I think we got this one correct. We had France and Denmark, not a surprise. Australia, not all that strong. Peru played well, not well enough. But that France team is among the most talented in the tournament. Denmark has Christian Eriksen, a couple of role players. Again, they're not quite as cohesive as Iceland are. They play very, very well together.
Yeah.
Can't see them doing much more, but they were clearly the second, the strongest, of the remaining three out of that group.
Yeah. I think with Group D, the next group, the big surprise for us was Argentina not, especially for me, I have them as winning the entire tournament, not playing as well together as I guess I expected them to. I put a lot more faith in their manager than I think he's deserved so far. And he's made some terrible decisions so far.
They don't have a midfield to speak of.
Mascherano's been terrible.
They're a collection of 10 guys running around out there with no plan. They're not playing like a team. They don't look like they enjoy playing with one another. They're not necessarily standing around waiting for Messi to do something, but they're also not putting him in positions to do what he's really, really good at. That goal he scored in the last match was absolutely gorgeous. The way he caught that ball off his knee, one touch, off the foot, one touch, and then drove home with the weak foot. That's Lionel Messi at his finest, right? But you can't play long ball merchant like that and with any kind of consistency.
The tactics have been all wrong. I think that's been the big issue for them. They have so much attacking talent that's just not being utilized. This is a team that should be playing much better than they are. With the likes of Aguero and Dybala, two of the best forwards in the world that can join Messi up there, and they're not flowing.
Aguero has one goal
against Croatia. They looked abysmal. I mean, they got destroyed. Yeah. I mean, Croatia, fair play to them. I mean, coming out of that group,
they're a good
exceptionally.
Team. I mean, nobody faults their talent, right? Could they put it all together and make a good run? Looking at the lineup on the round of 16, and at that side, anything can happen. Right? Absolutely anything can happen. Group E, again. Brazil.
Bit of a toss-up for that second team, a lot like the first group.
Yeah.
We picked Serbia mainly from some of their star power that they have.
SMS.
But Switzerland.
They just didn't. Yeah, they played well.
They have been a consistent team. They're just a strong team in general. They have some very talented players.
Yes, they are. They have consistent quality throughout the side, right? Again, no standouts. Some would say that Shaqiri is their star because he plays in the Premier League. Not anymore. But
you can imagine he's going to move back to the Premier League with that.
He's going to end up somewhere. But they just are, and they have quality in a lot of places. And they play well together. They're cohesive. They're well coached. And Costa Rica just stunk it up, right? They did, after coming off of what they did in 2014, maybe expectations were too high for them. We both had them finishing bottom of the table. Not a surprise, but
Serbia had it as well. They were leading Switzerland in the second match until they threw it away and ended up losing, and that was the deciding factor in the entire in the end. Because I think they played well against Brazil. And I think should they have advanced, they would have done well. I mean, they were, I think, probably most hard done by. I feel like in a lot of other groups they could have advanced.
Group F, Germany. What happened to Germany? Again, not a surprise. They're looking at defending champions. How many of them have gone out in the group stage? But
4 of the last 5 have gone out in the group stage.
No way you thought that was going to happen to that German side. Jurgen Love looked like he didn't know what the hell to do on the sideline other than, look for some boogers every now and again. But they couldn't muster anything in that last match.
In the Mexico game, they got outplayed thoroughly.
They got smoked.
Mexico, fair play to them. Nobody's talking about them.
Great.
But except
for that last game, they're always good for a clunker. Right? They'll play one or two really, really well, and then they poop the bed.
Exactly.
And it's just that's what Mexico do. It seems like. Mm-hmm. But the second match, the Germany-Sweden match, that Cruz free kick was just a thing of beauty.
And that's what saved them.
Unbelievable. That's what it took.
Them hope, because I mean,
otherwise they'd have been out at that point.
Exactly. And I feel like they did not deserve to go through. It wasn't as if they got hard done by.
No.
They played poorly. Maybe it's a positive for them. Maybe 4 years from now they have some really good young players. Maybe they revamp the squad, a new generation from the squad that won in 2014.
Or what they won the Confederation Cup, last year with their B team.
Exactly.
And that's who's going to be there in 4 years, right? Cruz will be gone.
Some of the older players that were part of that 2014 team were liabilities, and they were there because of reputation. I think Neuer was one of them specifically. Misses the entire year and then gets thrown in net.
Why did I pick him for the Golden Glove? Why would I?
Ter Stegen would have been a fantastic pick for that because he had a great season at Barcelona, would have been able to fit in, but unfortunately he didn't do that.
So, unfortunate for Germany. Much like the United States, though, is this a wake-up call for them? Who knows? We talked a little bit about this. We'll maybe talk about this when we get down to, where are we at here? Here, Group G. Again, we had Belgium and England going through. Not a surprise. They did not clearly want to win that match.
I mean, they're going to play against the easier team, I would guess. Japan versus Colombia. England has to play Colombia. Belgium has to play Japan.
England goes to the easy side of the bracket. It's easy.
I mean,
it's so imbalanced, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, you put easy in quotes, but you would much rather be where
England is. Absolutely. No question. But I know, talking about Panama for a little bit, they have arguably the space that the USA would have had. Panama finished 1 point ahead in the Hex. Panama are a whiny team.
Oh man,
they are physical. That is exactly how a CONCACAF match is played. The way Panama plays, whiny, chippy, pushing the line when it comes to some of the tackles and the fouls.
It's frustrating watching them.
Oh,
it's frustrating watching them in the US's place.
So we talked a little bit. This is maybe topic for an entire conversation, but would you rather, being the United States, have gone in and gotten smoked like Panama did, because that's what would have happened. We may not have lost 6-1 to the Three Lions, but we would not have gotten past Belgium or England. So it's better to have not made it and the wake-up call that hopefully that's going to create.
I prefer not making it because I did not like Bruce Arena as a coach at all.
No.
I thought he was not in the right direction. They have to get their entire act together. But the fact that you have now opportunities for these younger players.
A lot of good young players. They have a lot of good young players.
I mean, it's
not just Christian Pulisic, but they got a lot of depth.
They do have
I mean, there's just a lot of good. Well, that's a separate topic, but
100%.
That we would not have fared much better than Panama.
Oh no, we would have been third. No question about that.
We didn't really
talent level.
Yes, we did not say anything about Tunisia, but sorry about that.
Exactly,
Tunisia. Group H, another bit of a surprise with Poland. Not making it through. We didn't have them going through.
They were
a
questionable team, and I think that in the end they showed that they had severe flaws.
Yeah, Lewandowski and
who else on that team
Glick
sticks out?
Milik.
No, they don't have a defining characteristic besides Lewandowski.
No.
You see other teams that they have that. But the frustrating thing for this group for me was it ended up coming down to the fair play rule. And Senegal are the first team to ever have been eliminated by the fair play rule.
Yellow cards.
They had 6 yellow cards versus 4 for Japan. And what frustrated me the most about that was that at the end of the game, Japan knew they were through on yellow cards. Poland were winning the game against Japan, so why would Poland press the ball? They literally just passed around at the back. Just nobody's pressing, killing time. And that was frustrating for me because that's not soccer. That's not football.
No. I shouldn't say I understand what FIFA are trying to do with the fair play rule.
Because there's only 3 games, so there's only a certain amount of things that you can come with the
Right.
sliders.
So it makes sense, right? It's discipline. Who has the most discipline, right? You have to win with discipline, right? Which is something that I don't know how many cards Panama ended up with.
Shots
right?
on target would make more sense, in my opinion, at least. I mean, you depend that on who plays more attacking, who goes for it more. It makes more interesting, potentially, and have its own downfalls as well.
They all have their downsides.
I just don't feel like yellow cards and fair play, I think, is an unjust way to decide who gets to advance in the World Cup.
It didn't feel right. I'll say that. I mean, I understand what they're trying to do. I applaud the effort, but I don't know that it'll be around come 2022 when we're in the Cup. Okay, round of 16, starting tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
By the time this posts, who knows if it'll be yesterday. We've got Uruguay and Portugal. Fantastic matchup.
It's a great round of 16 matchup, but it just shows you the disparity that there's going to be a lot of heavyweights.
The left
playing.
side of that bracket is ridiculous. Read those teams on the left side of the bracket. It's
Uruguay,
insane.
Portugal, France, Argentina, Brazil, Mexico, Belgium, Japan.
One of these is not like the other.
Japan.
Yes.
And Mexico, kind of. Mexico made a bit of name for themselves.
Yeah, but they're certainly a bigger name on the world stage. You know, they've hosted a World Cup. Well, I guess exactly. Japan has too.
But I think, looking at the Uruguay-Portugal matchup in specific, I think that
Portugal are the favorites.
What I like about Portugal that they've shown me that I did not expect to see from them is they're much better coached. They have a good team cohesiveness that we haven't seen from several other teams, namely Argentina, I would say.
Right.
And I think that's going to make... I think Uruguay are more talented, but I think Portugal have a very talented team that can compete with almost anybody. I mean, they drew 3-3 with Spain.
Right. No, that was a great match. You want to talk about tantalizing matchups? That's your second match of the... Like, that's crazy.
Exactly. And I think that it was... I think it's ended up coming down to Uruguay have the better defense, and I think they have the better attack. Midfields, I think, are kind of cancel out. But I think that's going to... In the end, it's going to be a close game, but I think Uruguay is going to edge them out.
I've got it 1-1 ending regulation and Uruguay going on penalties and winning. So
it's going to be close. It could honestly go either way. It's probably, I would say, the most, maybe besides Sweden, Switzerland, the most difficult to call. Or France, Argentina.
Yeah. France, Argentina, going into that right away. I mean, or you want to go to Spain, Russia first?
We'll go to
Spain, Russia.
Spain.
Yeah.
Russia, they'll have the home.
They're going to score, but they're not going to defend. Yeah. Like, they're not going to stop Spain, I don't think.
Yeah. It should be entertaining. Russia have a good side. I mean, they have a much better side than we gave them credit for.
Yes.
But Spain are just a different level. They're a favorite for a reason.
So what are the... I mean, they're saying 20... This is SPI's numbers. 22% chance that Russia wins.
That's unfair. I think it should be higher, honestly. Because I think people...
A 1 in 5 chance, basically.
I don't think they're counting the fact that it's in Russia. And I think that... Not suggesting that there's any script writing, but I mean... It's been one of the most entertaining World Cups we've seen. I mean, if you look at some of this... Like,
that nobody's watching in this country. Besides us.
It's the second most competitive World Cup ever. 61.5% of the games have ended within a goal of each other. And that's the second highest to 2010. Which, I mean, shows that it's been entertaining. There's been so many storylines. The defending champions are out. And that's what we wanted. We wanted an entertaining World Cup, and that's what we've got.
No, absolutely. But Spain go through. I've got it 3-2 to Spain.
I have Spain going through as well.
France and Argentina. I suspect this is the end of the Argentina run. There's been rumors that Messi is going to quit the team. Don't know if that's going to happen, but obviously he's going to be past his prime by the time next World Cup rolls around.
I believe, the next World Cup runs around.
Maybe he's a LeBron James, who knows? And he's a Tom Brady, who knows? But I've got France going through 3-1 here. I just think they're too hungry. They're too young. They're too good. They've got a midfield that Argentina does not have. I think they're going to dominate Argentina with Conte and Pogba.
Conte and Pogba and Matt Tweedy in that midfield.
It's ridiculous.
In Argentina, I mean, you have Mascherano, you have Benet. They're going to get run over in the midfield. And it's Argentina, if Messi comes back in 4 years, they have to have a better sporting cast. They have to have a better coach.
They have to be a better coach. Yeah, 100. Yeah, that's it.
And have to have more of a tactic. They don't have an identity.
They don't have a plan.
And that's what I made the mistake of when I picked them. I didn't think about the fact that they have Messi.
I picked Germany, so you're better than me.
We're not experts, clearly. But France, they should be favorites. And that's going to set up a Uruguay-France matchup that's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
And it's unfortunate because we would have been able to see Portugal and Argentina play.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen.
And that would have been
And I think that saves Messi a lot of nonsense if they were to get smoked by Portugal. He's already going to get a lot of business for not making for not doing for just Argentina not playing well, and it's not his fault. It's not his fault.
I think he's the best player, possibly
better than Ronaldo.
I think he's better than Ronaldo.
I agree.
I think if you can argue stats all day, but I think if you just the eye test, Ronaldo's. I mean, we're splitting hairs.
He's amazing.
They're both amazing players.
They're freaks of nature, both of them.
We're blessed to have them both play in our lifetimes, but I just think that Messi is just a different class than anybody we've ever seen.
Outstanding. Denmark and Croatia.
Croatia, I think Denmark's gonna be tough, but I think Croatia, they've got a team that is tenacious and they've got
a good midfield.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Rakitic and Modric. Modric, I think, is honestly best midfielder in the world, if not up there top 3, top 5. I think
that's a strong statement.
I think that he is one of the best in the world. He's consistently voted in the team of the year.
Yeah.
He by his peers.
Well, he's overlooked on that Barca side, right?
No, the Madrid side.
Sorry, the Madrid side. Rakitic is on Madrid or on Barca. Exactly. Good job there.
Yeah, no worries. But he's only scored 2 goals.
Overlooked. Both of them are overlooked.
He only scored 2 goals for Madrid in the season. He's already scored 2 in the tournament so far. He's taking it to another level, and he's what's really been driving.
He's the engine for that machine.
They've got a good team. I think that they're going to play against Spain if they advance. If our predictions are correct, that I think would be another interesting matchup right there.
So I've got Croatia 2, Denmark 0. Sorry, Christian Eriksen, but your run ends there. Brazil and Mexico. Interesting. Brazil, heavy favorites. They're an 83% chance according to SPI. We've both got them going through. I like Mexico. I like the story. I like what they did against Germany. I can't see them doing it again.
My favorite thing about Brazil is it's not Neymar leading the show. It's Felipe Coutinho, who's been the best player for Brazil.
And he plays in midfield. It's like he's not playing in that wing role where he plays at Barca, right? Or he's back in that role that he played for Liverpool. And that strike that he had, it was exactly what he's done for Liverpool. How many times?
He has taken his game to another level when he went to Barcelona. When he evolved his game by getting to that next level, he has stepped up, and that means that Neymar, he hasn't performed as well as people expected, but that also means
he's also coming. This is his 5th game back. Maybe
he's been out for a while. I think that it's only positive for them that you have a player like Coutinho who's able to step up and play. And then we saw that last game where you had Marcelo go down with an injury, which
they have no fullbacks left. Actually, that's an interesting
They have Felipe
thing.
Luis, who's able to step in for him.
Yeah.
Who's not
is he out for the next match? I have not seen.
I don't see anything about Marcelo, but that's a big deal if he's out because he's one of the best.
Their fullbacks aren't all that strong from a defense perspective. That's not what they do,
attack,
right? They are fantastic. That's what I'm saying. So if there is a weakness to that side, it's on the wings, on the defensive side of the ball, but not enough that Mexico's. I've got that one 2-0 to Brazil.
They have a strong team. They're like France, like Spain, like Belgium. They just have an incredible team.
And they're tight. They play well. Switzerland, Sweden.
How does this end up becoming?
Who saw that coming?
This is why Uruguay, Portugal, and France and Argentina is happening.
So let's read. So we read the left side. The right side: Russia, Spain, Denmark, Croatia, Switzerland, Sweden, England, Colombia.
Not saying they're not talented teams. The lack of a big name. Lack of big names.
Spain and England. And England were my dark horses, right? And I'm not sure if that's fair, but nobody's been really talking about them. We'll see what they can do come this round of 16 matchup that we'll talk about in a second. But that right-hand side is Switzerland, Sweden. Again, good.
Sweden showed me a lot.
You know,
they won their first game. Against Germany, I think they got a little unlucky. They took the foot off the gas and let them come at them, which would have, with the quality Germany had.
Exactly. There's no way you can. Germany's going to do that at the end of the match.
I think that Sweden, they got a chance against Switzerland that they're going to be able to put themselves in a position where they're going to be playing against either England or Colombia. And I think if you're Sweden, that's an incredible position to be in. To be able to play, not saying that they're bad teams, but...
And it's 50-50. 51-49, Switzerland is the SPI.
I would pick Sweden personally.
I've got Sweden 1-0 beating Switzerland on.
It's not the most glamorous game. People are definitely waiting for England-Colombia on that same day, but...
The irony in this is people always somehow, I don't know how this happens, I did this when I was a kid, confuse Sweden for Switzerland. And they really have nothing to do with one another, right? One's in Nordic country,
and one's middle of Europe.
One is next to France.
Yes.
So anyhow, apropos of nothing, Belgium and Japan. Really not to. I'm surprised this isn't more lopsided. It's 76% shot for Belgium to win. I've got Belgium going through 3-0
Japan
over
were a little lucky to get through. Belgium are another class.
Yeah.
Not much to talk about that.
It depends if Lukaku is back. I think they were just resting him. You know, he's got that knock, but
even if he doesn't play, they have so much talent that he shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah. And then England and Colombia, interesting matchup. England 60%, Colombia 40%, according to SPI. I think England are going to go through. There are a lot of people out there talking that Colombia, outside of everybody spelling their name wrong for the next week or so, you know, don't deny them their two O's. There's no U in Colombia.
I'm just realizing that now.
That's what's going to happen, right? But I've got England going through 2-1. I think, you know, Colombia is going to score. If Rodriguez doesn't play, Gomez, you know, they've got Cuadrado. They've got, you know, they're not a bad side. I just think the way England are playing right now, they've kind of had they've been much more humble. And I feel like
the big thing for them is the media has been, it's known for being really hard on its national team, but it's been a lot lighter on them. It's been a lot more.
Because there's no expectations.
And with little expectations, you're able to play much more free.
A little bit freer.
We're seeing that, and that's why I think they have an incredible chance. If they play
Harry Kane playing the way he's playing.
He didn't even play in the last game. He has 5 goals
I know.
already.
It's outrageous.
And, I mean, if they are able to get past Colombia, they're going to play against either Sweden or Switzerland. Have you seen much of an easier path to the semifinal of the World Cup than that?
I struggle with, we say easy.
No match is easy in the World Cup.
Right. I'm not suggesting what you're saying is wrong.
The quality of teams is much less.
It's that left side is brutal. Yeah. I mean, and again, it came down to England losing to Belgium, and
if you look at the big 4
feeling
teams,
better about that.
You would say it was I'm probably getting soft. France, Germany, Spain, Brazil, Belgium. Those are the 5 big teams people had. 4 of them, or 3 of them are in the other side. Yeah. One of them's gone. And there's only 1 in the right side. So you would say Spain are favorites to get out.
Well, Spain underperformed so badly in the last World Cup, right? Again, they were a defending champion coming on and not performing well. So they won the Euro, won the World Cup, won the Euro, and then fell apart.
Yeah.
Right? Germany won the World Cup, won Confed Cup. What did they win the Euro? Who won Euro last? Portugal.
Portugal won the Euros.
So I don't know where I'm going here.
No, okay. Right side, much more.
It's wide open.
Much easier.
Yeah.
You could see if Spain falter, you're going to see. I mean, you look at beyond Spain, you're going to see an absolute shocker in the final, playing against somebody who's going to have to get past the best of the best in the left.
It's got to be Spain or England coming out of that side.
Honestly,
I mean, and you've got a great matchup as a semifinal. If it's Spain and England, it's a great matchup, right?
And then you would see. If you look at our predictions right now, it would be Uruguay, France, Brazil, and Belgium. I mean, those are just 4 powerhouses right there, and you're going to see already 2 of them gone, and then they're going to have to duke it out for who gets to play against arguably one of the weaker sides.
I mean, I think you're going to end up. Well, that's for another one. I think you end up with Brazil and France probably. Possibly ends up happening, which is going to be spectacular.
Hopefully, it's exciting.
All right, that's it for us on this episode. Thanks again. Give us a like, give us a shout. This is 45 for Jack Conrad. We will see you soon. Take care.